Spring is coming, guys, whether you want it to or not. Home Depot just put out some of their spring fruits and spring flowers. These are bulbs. I'm gonna grab one or two and try them out. They're perennials here in Zone 9B, so they will last you all year if you take care of them. The light out here in the garden department is not the best, but I'm gonna grab me some of these. And as you can tell, people has already been shopping because they're about out. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome back to Garden and the Bird. Real quick, I don't want to take up too much of y'all time. I had a wooden fence here. I finally got my husband to remove the wooden fence. I went to my retail store, any retail store. You can go to any retail store. And I had grabbed some cardboard boxes. I ripped off the tape off of them, as you can see, so it don't break down and compost into my bed. I am going to do the no dig method for these two beds. Um, my beds I have in my other garden, some of them I did no dig, some of them I dug up. It didn't do any good to dig them up. The weeds still came through. If my fruits and vegetables grew like the weeds grew here, I would not have an issue. But the weeds still came up. So I'm just going to do the no dig method for these two beds. So I think I told you guys before, I was going to break this bed down into two. I changed my mind, and my mind's made up. I'm going to leave it. I have stepping stones in here, which does take up quite a bit of my space here, but I'm going to leave it. Now that I have this open, I have walk room here, and we're going to eventually put a vinyl fence all the way through here. So that'll be blocked anyway. So I'm going to leave this bed just like that. I got brassicas in it now. I'll start watermelons, anything. I'm just not going to break that down. So today we're just going to kind of like measure out where I want the two beds to be at. I already have gravel here because I had just a little walk space when the fence was up. So let's just see what it'll look like. I got these also from a retail store. Um, Most retail stores have like stacked bases, sidekicks, and they break the woods off. And I got them for free. I'm just using them just to hold down the cardboard. bring y'all in and show y'all what it looks like. I kind of like it. It's enough space for me to walk through here, whether I'm going to this bed or this bed. And then this will be walk space, whether I'm over here or over here. And eventually I would put cardboard down here, but I will have the gravel rocks in between. I actually like the gravel rock look in my garden. So I will have the gravel rock going in between these beds as well. I may be able to put a third one here. I'm really not sure. I'm gonna take my greenhouse down. I got it for a gift. Someone gave it to me. I haven't had much success with germination in the greenhouse, but I did get a grow light in my kitchen, and I've been starting my spring seeds right outside here in zone 9B with no problem, and they're coming up fine. So maybe a greenhouse is good for people up north where it snows and stuff, but me personally, I don't see no use for a greenhouse. As you can tell, I'm only storing pots and stuff here. So I think I'm gonna break that down and put it in my shed because I don't need it. But I may be able to get a third raised bed here, but I may not because I have plans to build onto my home, build a actual garage and maybe add another room in the future. So I don't want to build too close to that because that shed might be gone pretty soon. I'm gonna bring you guys just a little closer over here to this bed, and I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do with this bed. As you seen when you came on to this video, I paid a trip to one of my big box stores, and they were bringing out all their spring fruits and vegetables and flowers. I have never grown flowers from a bulb before. I researched these. They grow very well in our area in zone 9B, but not only that, they love sun. And I know I get sun around here. So that's why I picked these. But I'm gonna plant them in this bed with my, what are these? Beans. They're slowly dying back. I probably got one or two trying to hang in there, but for the most part, they're dying back. I'm gonna wait till my last frost date, which is roughly around February 28th. But I might do it February 10th maybe. But I'm gonna give these just a little while longer before I plant these in this flower pot, just to give my garden a little color and put some flowers in the area. So real quick, I just want to show you, this right here is my thyme grow bag, and I planted some golden white potatoes in here, and I just want to show you how the potatoes grow. So I'm trying to show y'all. That's not a good example. Okay. You see how the stems, they're not tough, but they're very thick and sturdy, and they grow straight up. So I started the potatoes at the bottom of this bed, and then as soon as they sprouted, I covered it with dirt, and then when they sprouted more, I covered it with more dirt. So now they're at the top, and they are looking pretty good. Nice greenery. The stalk is very thick, and that would be the same thing with that bed. If it grows, I'm gonna add more soil till I get to a certain level, and then I'll just let it grow up. The sweet potato vines can crawl on the stalks of these. They can be companion planted together. So that way I can get potatoes in different areas in my garden, but at the same time, it'll let me know which grows better, in a bed or in a bag. It is getting dark, so real quick, this is also what I picked up in my local nursery. You could tell they $3.98, and they gave you what, three nice size bulbs, I must say. They're nice size bulbs. I'm probably going to only plant one of these right now just to show you guys, because garlic takes roughly 6 to 8 months before you can harvest them. So I have to be careful where I plant these at, because I still have some brassicas growing in my garden, and I also have some I got from seed in my kitchen that I'm going to plant out. So where I plant these garlics at, I need to be able to not need that space and let them grow. Garlic doesn't take up a lot of space, but I don't want to keep disturbing them or forgetting where they're at and trying to plant something. But garlic and onions can be planted with anything. It's actually a good pest relief. Some good, but most all bad pests hate the smell of garlic and onions. So I can stick it anywhere in my garden, but the fact that they take so long, I kind of want to stick them and forget them, so I'm not too worried about them and let them do their thing. So let's open up one of these and see where we can stick this set real quick before it gets dark. So it's getting pretty dark, and I planted some, but I want to show you what they look like once you take them out the bulb. You have these right here, and you plant them. How do you plant these? Tip part up. Of course, if you look, that's the root part. So you just stick them in the ground just like that, and you don't stick them too deep. You don't have to I put mine just finger deep in the soil and lightly cover them. I got them, and then I just lightly cover them. My beds that I'm putting these in are already heavy on mulch, so I'm just gonna water them a little bit with the water can and be done with it. So I decided to put those in this bed right here. Reason why is this bed is about done. Yes, it looks a little empty now, but I have my marigolds trying to come back there. My carrots are lined up at the front. I've been harvesting them. I have sweet peppers, 3 sweet peppers. I have a total of like 3 pepper plants over there and 2 tomato plants, and they get pretty big and bushy, so I don't want to crowd them. And then I have all my hot peppers here, and I have 2 hot peppers over here that I trimmed down for the cold weather in hopes that they come back for the springtime. But if they don't, I also started some from seed. Oh, it's getting dark. I also started some from seed right here. So that's just, there you go. That's just one bed. And I took it around the edges. Like I said, garlic are like stems that comes up. They don't bush out, so they don't take up space. So I just took around the back wall right there, and the front wall up here where the carrots at, and just put those with garlic cloves. So fall time this year, I'll be harvesting this garlic. I had to run to Home Depot real quick. You guys see I added 2 raised beds, and I want to treat the soil. I'll get more into that. I changed my mind on the no dig method. I grabbed some spinach, romaine lettuce. I grabbed romaine lettuce a while back and I grabbed it too soon because it bolted on me. So it's going to seed in my garden, which is fine. I have seeds for next season. And I never grew head lettuce. Actually, I'm going to take that back because it tells me it's iceberg and I don't want icebergs. And I grabbed me a sweet basil. And I tried to get my money's worth from the sweet basil. So it's like 4 plants in here. I'm going to separate them and put them up underneath all my tomato plants. Nothing big, very small. Didn't do any recording inside because it was drizzling while I was out and about. So it was kind of like in and out. But then when I got out here to the car, it stopped. But that's okay. Let's head back to the house. Almost forgot. I gotta show y'all my deal I found at Home Depot. There's my other bag of compost. I'll wait till my kids get home and take it out for me. But if you can see, if you go to Home Depot and Lowe's, normally like early mornings, they have what they call markdowns, whether it rip coming off the truck, rip coming off the pallet, whatever. Instead of trashing it, I wish they did the plants and vegetables like this. But instead of trashing them, they'll mark them down 50%, sometimes 70% off. So, as you guys know, I have the red paver rocks. What are they? The red stones in my garden. And these are now, when I first started gardening, y'all, they was $4. But let's not go there. They're now $7.98. So half off. I paid $4 for this bag. And I'm going to sprinkle this in the middle of my 2 beds that I just got started. So I'm just going to pull those weeds off and sprinkle that in the middle and get that started. And yes, I do make it my business to go to Home Depot and Lowe's early morning just to see what they mark down. I am really hoping I have more than 3. Like I said, my Adalian said 3 and I had 5. So I'm really hoping I got more than 3 in there. But we'll give these a try. And I didn't get a lot of seeds. It's just some I want to try. And you wouldn't believe it if I told you I have nowhere to put these at right now at the moment. I have 1, 2, 3. I have, y'all heard them cats fighting? I have 3 trellises right now. I have one that I just did for the peas, and me and my family love peas, so I want that one with peas. And then I have one that I'm doing for the cucumbers because my daughter loves cucumbers, so I'm doing that one for the cucumbers. And then I have the one in the bed that is completely done with the black-eyed peas because we do eat black-eyed peas here, so that's that one. I still need a trellis for my melons and 2 of my beans. This is one of them I just got from the store, but I have the the string beans, the Bush Garden string beans, and I have another one, and they both require a trellis. So I don't know. It look like I'm gonna have to. It look like I'm gonna have to make one of those new beds I just start building. One gonna have a trellis on it. We'll see. But yes, thanks for watching. Hit that like button and subscribe, and I will keep you guys with updates on what's going on in the bird here in zone 9B. So it got dark on me. I had to end the days worth of work, but here I am today. Just left Home Depot, back in the garden, and I'm doing a little cleaning up, and of course I'm checking my starter seeds that I planted, moving things around in the garden. Now that it's a little daylight, the garlic that I planted in this row and behind this bed, so they're out my way. Like I said, they don't take up space, so I planted them there, and I went and planted them along the edge of this bed. So my little table is cluttered, and my sink I just cleaned off, besides the cleaning up the dead leaves that was in the garden. But if y'all know me, I don't like clutter. So I haven't found nowhere to put the spinach yet that I just got. These right here came out. I have cucumber, and these are melons. So they're the ones that came out of my kitchen. They were seedless. They started from seeds, and they grew too tall for where I have them at, and they was drying out. That's why they leggy. So what I did was I potted them. Just to show you real quick, this is what they were in my kitchen up underneath the grow light. And I think they done outgrew these little trays cells. See how they leggy in there? And I got some coming up here. So a lot of them I took out and put in bigger pots like this. So I took the cucumbers and the melons, put them in bigger pots, watered them, and I'm gonna let them sit out here for maybe 30 minutes to an hour. Then I'll take them back and put them up underneath the grow light, because what I'm doing now is hardening them off. As you can tell, they have their true leaves coming out of them. So they're about ready to go in the ground. So for the rest of this week, I'll take them out for an hour, take them back in, take them out for an hour. Maybe Monday, Tuesday, I'll be able to plant them in the ground. But if you guys also remember, I had that cold front, and I didn't think my basils was going to survive. So I played it safe, and I took some cuttings, and let's see what happened. So here's the purple basil cutting I took, and look, she got roots, y'all. So I am going to go ahead and put her in my bed that has tomatoes and peppers in it, because that's great companion planting for tomatoes and peppers is basil. So I'm going to stick her in there. Here's another one, but I'm going to leave this one in there because it only got just a couple of roots. So I'm just going to put it back in there. Here is the cinnamon basil, and it got some nice roots. Not sure what bed I'm going to plant this in, so I'm going to do my research and see where else I can plant basil in my bed. I don't want to overdo my peppers and tomatoes, because I have peppers, tomatoes, and carrots, basil. So I don't want to overdo that. So I'm going to see where I can stick my cinnamon basil at. And here's another cinnamon basil. I can put her in the ground. So all but my Pasco basil gave me new roots. And I'm not sure what's going on. I'm getting a little worried, but I'm going to put this back in there with some fresh water. And I'm just going to put these back in there and give them a little longer. So I went ahead and planted my Adalian flowers in this flower pot to bring some flowers and color to the garden without overcrowding my beds. So I took out the ground beans that I had in here. They was about through. It was like 1 or 2 flowers. So I just pulled them. So I also planted those. I did that off the camera. The package said they were $9.98 and the package said 3, but I actually got 5 in my package. And I didn't separate them or break them up or anything, and I got 5. So I put 3 here, and I put 1 in this pot and 1 in this pot. And we're gonna hope for the best. If they're anything like seeds, you always want to plant more, just in case some don't come up or some don't germinate. You have something to fall back on. If all of them come up, I couldn't tell you where I'm gonna put the rest of the flowers at in the garden right now. I guess we'll figure that out when we cross that bridge, but those are there. And my tomatoes, this is the small variety, got their true leaves. I guess I can start planting them in the garden right now if I wanted to. I don't know. I may have to finish up this bed that I started and put them in there. Now, carrots is very hard to germinate. Me personally, I stick them in the ground and leave them. If they come up, they come up. I don't put so much energy on putting cardboard over them or mulching them. They come up, they come up. In this pot here, remember, peas and carrots are one of the ones that don't like their roots played with. So I use the toilet paper towel method. Look at that carrot, I'm popped out of the carrot there. That one trying to come in. That one trying to come in. But I got some peas. So what I am going to do is go ahead and put the peas where I want them to start growing at, should I say, in their permanent home. It's either not enough sun or too much sun. But I want the peas to grow on this trellis, and hopefully they crawl all the way up and connect to each other on this end. Oh, you guys, I have a turnip. Look at her. I have a turnip. Look at him. I'm so excited. Okay, so just like that one right there. I got to see what date I put them in. I might can harvest those. Can you guys see? It's the sun. See how she's crawling up on that? Now, I don't know how she got to where she at, but she's doing what I need her to do. So we're going to go ahead. I think I should be able to plant 5 plants along this end right here. 5 and 5 on both ends. I'm thinking I should be able to do that. As you can tell, not all of them germinated, so I'm just going to do the ones that's ready to go. So just to show you, I just dropped the whole thing in the hole, and I just dropped my seedlings in there. And then I had planted 3, 4. Here's my 2 beds. I decided not to do the no-dig method because it was going to cost me more money, to be perfectly honest. I'm all for trying to save. I mean, I do believe in investing, but I'm also trying to save. So what I did was I dug up my 2 raised beds. The wood, I kind of just tried to see what it would look like if I had a nice size one or a small one. But I dug those up. I put bone meal down the center of it, watered it in. This one right here, I put bone meal down the center, watered it in, and then threw compost that I got from my local Home Depot. It was like $1.87. And I got one more bag to put over here. But as you can see, I got more weeds over here to pull up. Versus this one, I had my kids pull them all up for me. So I got quite a more I got quite a bit more weeds I need to get up here before I do it with the compost. But then I'm going to put the compost down, and then I'm going to sprinkle some of cinnamon, which is my daughter's rabbit poop, down. Water that in before today's over with. And I'm going to let this sit maybe a couple of days. One, I want to see the weeds, see if they come up real quick. But two, I want to treat this soil. So I want to make sure it's nice and healthy. Now I know y'all seen these cucumbers looking like, I ain't got enough space. Them cucumbers was looking like this, y'all. And I'm not playing. Put them in another pot, water them, and look at them. Put a little sun to them and look at them. But I'm only going to leave them out here about 20-30 minutes, and I'm going to take them back in because I don't want to kill them already. I still got 3 lettuces and 3 spinach. I'm not sure what to do with. I can tell you, I'm going to use these trays from now on, and I may do some more seeds, because as you can tell, I don't know what was in this one. Romaine lettuce and hot peppers did not come up.